Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming, and I have a nice little strategy video for you today. This is going to be a Protoss strategy. In this particular replay, our Protoss player that we're looking at is Squirtle, and the opponent here is Idra. Now, this did come from the Intel Extreme Master, so definitely high-quality play here, and let's just get right into it. Again, this is a Protoss strategy. What we're going to be looking at specifically as far as the build is the 3-gate Stargate with 3 warp gates and, of course, the Stargate. The Stargate, of course, allowing you to go either Void Rays or Phoenixes for harass, either or, but in this particular build that we're looking at, we're going to be going Void Rays, and we also are going to look at a little bit of trickery, and we're going to get into further detail about that once it actually occurs, but basically trying to psych out your opponent and not showing your opponent what you're doing, or making your opponent think you're doing one thing and then in fact doing another. Now you can see why we're going to 2x speed, because obviously the opening of the match here, nothing really too much going on here, nothing to really be concerned about. The very opening is going to be pretty standard here. It's going to be a 9 Pylon, a 13 Gateway, 15 Assimilator, and then a 18 Cybernetics Core. So very, very standard opener here for Squirtle. Now the important thing is, like I mentioned, 2 things. Well, you can see first and foremost, Squirtle's going to be doing a little patrol route there, trying to delay any sort of expansion. And then what we're going to see him do is actually drop a Pylon right about now. I slowed it down back to normal speed there. See him drop a Pylon right now to delay it as much as possible. And what you're going to see him do is actually, you don't want to lose this Pylon, obviously, so he's going to cancel it right before it dies, gets his resources right back, and then, of course, is able to use it. We can see that Warp Gate research, of course, that should be coming up the second that Cybernetics Core finishes. And what we're going to see here from this point forward, we can see Idra does have that Drone Scout in the base, and the Zerg player should have that Scout inside of your base before the Zealot finishes. Now, obviously, you want to block off from any Zerglings coming in, so having the Zealot chill out over here is, of course, a good idea. So what's going to happen here is you're going to wait until the Stalker finishes. You can kill off that Scout and then go from there. You can see right here Squirtle clearly has enough to put down his next building. The next building is going to be a Stargate, but we don't want the Zerg player to know that. He does not want Idra to know exactly what he's doing, so he's going to wait till that drone is dead. Look, he's got those extra resources, and then immediately drops that Stargate. And actually, he's going to be getting that next gateway right about now as well. So that's something else that's really important to realize. Don't kind of reveal what you're doing as a Protoss player. If you have a Scout in your base and your Zerg opponent sees you drop 2 gateways after you already have that 1 gateway and Cyber up, they're going to know you're probably going for a 3 or 4 gate, right? They're going to be pretty aware of that. But if you wait until you kill off that Scout and then drop your buildings, you're going to be in a much better position. You'll definitely be able to catch them by surprise and off guard. And again, what we're going to see here is Squirtle is going for that 3-gate robo. And I'm going to go for those supplies, but again, realize these supplies, these could have very well come earlier, but they had to wait. Squirtle had to wait until that Drone Scout died. Obviously, if that Scout isn't in your base, you can drop this a little bit earlier than we saw Squirtle do. So the Stargate did come up at 28 supply, and then at 31 supply, we had those both additional gateways. So right now, are sitting on that 3-gate robo. Cybernetics Core is just about finished right now. Going to be chrono boosting in that first Void Ray. You can see some other really nice things going on over here by Squirtle, having this proxy Pylon right down below. And then here comes the trickery, all right? What we're going to see right now is Squirtle's going to go for an expansion. And this is actually pretty strong, going for a 2-gate Stargate or a 3-gate Stargate and then moving into an expansion, getting that nice and saturated, and then kind of going for that Protoss Death Ball. It can definitely be really, really effective. So what we're going to see here, though, and this is something that you can try to incorporate into your own games. All right, Idra has the Overlord. Idra knows what's going on. He can see what's going on right now. We're going to see Squirtle drop that Nexus right at the very end, okay? And taking a look just momentarily here in Idra Vision, look at that. Idra saw the Nexus. He knows that a Nexus is coming down. He's aware that this is happening. And then what is Squirtle going to do? Squirtle is, in fact, going to cancel that Nexus right now, just moving out, trying to deny any... He knew that a Scout may have been at the tower, so try to deny that, and letting him go in just enough, and then watch what's going to happen. It's coming just one moment. Look at that right there. All those cubes on the ground. He canceled the Nexus, getting him those extra resources, and he's going to push out. And why is that important? Let's pause just for one moment and go back, because what I want you to see, and this is very, very important, is that when your opponent scouts you and they know what you're doing, they're going to respond accordingly, right? That is exactly what's going to happen. So what's going to happen right here? All right, let's watch it. Overlord Scout, let's take a look at the production tab. Overlord Scout moving about. Look at his production tab, see what's going on. He's got 4 drones in production. He sees the Nexus drop down. Watch that drone production. Look at that, shot right up to 8. So he produced another 4 drones the second that he saw those first 4 finished and these next 4 are going. The second that he saw this Nexus go down, he produced another 4 drones because he thought, okay, well, he's expanding, I'm safe. I can go ahead and work on my economy. And that's exactly what he did. You can see more drones coming out, still no offensive units. Idris continuing to produce drones, and that is the point. You then cancel that Nexus, you can pump out a few more units, and then you have to push. This is the important part too. You have to push pretty much immediately, all right? This is a very small timing window that you're going to have. You need to capitalize on it. Your opponent thinks, even if it's only for 30 seconds to a minute that your opponent thinks that you've expanded, they're going to respond accordingly. They're going to play as if you've expanded if they see an expansion start to go down. So if you can cancel and then take those 400 resources, put them into some army, and then push out from that point, you're going to be really solid. You can see also cutting drone production right now. I mean, cutting pro production. He wants to save all his resources for continued warp-ins. Moving out once he has these 2 void rays, we're going to see a proxy pylon. And the issue being right now for Idra is that, yes, he's producing units now, but he droned up so hard as soon as he saw that there was an expansion going down that he will not be able to handle basically this big strong push. And making sure you have some sentries down, trying to get some nice force fields, doing things like preventing reinforcements at an expansion, because obviously at this point in the game, 9 minutes in the game, nearly every single Zerg player is going to have expanded by then. Even if they didn't go for 15 hatch, they will have gone for a hatch around 20 supply. And this push can be absolutely devastating. So just very interesting play here from Squirtle. Obviously this isn't something you should do every game, but I just wanted to show you kind of 2 primary points. The first of which was killing off that scout inside of your base before you reveal your hand, before you show your tech, and then showing what you're doing, but then switching it up. I guess a flip of that scenario would also be maybe showing the Stargate, right? Start warping the Stargate when a drone scout is inside of your base, and then once you kill it, cancel it and drop a 4-gate, and then go for a 4-gate push. That's kind of like another variation of what you're seeing here. But this is a little bit more effective because you'd have a little higher tech here with the void rays on the board, and especially once those get charged up, obviously incredibly devastating. By canceling that Nexus after it had been spotted and after your Zerg opponent responded by likely just droning up, as you saw Idra do here. If you can push out almost immediately, that's going to be really strong and very difficult for the Zerg player to deal with. So once again, guys, this has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. Hopefully you enjoyed this little strategy video. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to come out with any more videos today. I do have work. I also have a lesson shortly. So anyways, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.